Hey everyone, welcome back to another week of Yu-Gi-Oh! Here with me. Again, my name's Ray, based here in the Austin area, and we'll be doing a little bit of overview of a couple things today. I'm just gonna kind of probably talk while I work air quotes, play a children's card game. Um, so a couple weeks ago we did Houston regionals. Um, and overall, I would say it was a pretty successful weekend. But I think I am going to be retiring the Kashtira Dogmatica deck, especially as we're ramping up to go into next format in a month or two now. I don't want to be spending too much more time on that deck. I think it was a lot of fun for like my first like four-way foray back into Yu-Gi-Oh after an extended break. But I think at this point, uh, it's just a little not good. So I think I'm officially going to be retiring that deck outside of like some for fun stuff. And then today I'll be kind of sleeving some new cards as I'm building some new decks. Um, so if you've watched some previous episodes or videos, you probably know that I've been working on a few different things. The main one that I'm getting ready for is actually Vanquish Soul. So Vanquish Soul is what I plan to be playing. The Vanquish Soul Canine specifically is what I plan to be playing next format. After all the Canine cards are released in August, I think they're released in August, right? I think so. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm just going to start getting some reps in on Vanquish Soul. I'm already practicing the canine variant in Sims, but in the meantime, since I already have like the Kashtira engine, most of the Vanquish Soul cards, and some other stuff relate, and like all like the rank 7 stuff, I'm gonna play like a variant of it, just so I can get practice like over the table with it while continuing to practice the full build. Currently, I actually don't have that many cards for it. Truth be told, um, but I think it'll be fun anyways. Another deck I'm planning on playing, it'll be definitely like rogue tier, but I think it'll be fun. Will be a Primite Harpies deck where I'm running like basically the goal of the deck will be to like turbo out Featherstorm, as well as just like the normal Harpy monsters using the Primite engine, right? And then playing along with that, kind of using like the Harpy engine to cycle through and get like specific cards that I'm looking for, like back into the deck. So right now I'm just kind of going through pulling cards that I know that I will be wanting and or needing for uh, wanting and needing for the whatchamacallit deck. The canine Vanquish Soul. Um, just because it's like it's far enough away that I'm not like really like in a rush to get these cards necessarily. So I'm just kind of taking it step by step, just kind of moving cards over as I get them, slowly just building out the deck. I'll probably fill some of the empty space in the short term with just like Kashtira sub engine, just because a bunch of level 7s they play well with the heavy Borger, and it's kind of like an independent engine that doesn't necessarily conflict with what Vanquish Soul is trying to do. Um, and it's not really like an extra deck based engine either, so it leaves room for me to be playing the extra deck cards that I want to be playing. Um, as far as like what I'm going to be building in it specifically, I've been doing a lot of research specifically in like the OCG and what they're doing currently. And obviously, I'll be running my Zeus. I'll be running my Typhon. But as far as like kit goes, it'll be double Rock of the Vanquisher, an SP, Canine Werewolf, Canine Ripper, Canine Hound, Paradise Smasher, Artifact Durandal, which we have here. And then I'm opting for number 101 as my uh, number card that I want to be running in it because I already have Honor Arc. I don't know if I do not have Honor Dark, but I think Honor Dark will be one of the better uh, C number monsters between that 101 and whatever other number is right now. 101 and 107 to play along with Nash Knight because I think Nash Knight and then CXYZ Nash Knight will be very pinnacle cards in this format, at least in terms. And then I just really like the way that like Honor Arc plays. It's what I used to play with Harpies and stuff, so it's like very familiar. I just missleeved both of these. These should be in a different color. So, as you probably remember, the Kashtira deck has always been like pink. For Vanquish Soul, I decided to go with this like matte silver, grayish color. And then for all my extra deck cards, I'm maintaining the same like lavender, like purplish color. Just because I kind of like the way they look. They're all just dragon shields. I've heard some mixed reviews recently about how people feel about them. So we'll kind of see. But as far as like cards that I have right now, I'll be probably sharing some of like the core items between multiple decks. So like I'll be sharing like the Ash Blossoms and the Drolls kind of between like more than one deck. But that shouldn't be too much because I'm only playing one deck at a time. So that might be a lot of resleeving, but I don't think it'll be too bad. But as far as like cards that I currently have, I'm still waiting for my Raisins and I'm waiting for my Heavy Borgers. Those are the last two Vanquish Soul monsters that I don't have that are released currently and are available. Then the Stake Your Souls as well as like the bread and butter spell of the deck. So right now, really limited in what I have for the deck ready at least. So this will probably be a pretty short video in terms of it, but that's all I have right now. I think it'll be a really fun format. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm also planning on doing Kurikara as well as Fantastical Dragon Phantasme as my board breakers for whatchamacallit for Vanquish Soul K9. And that's just because it's just different, I guess. I don't really know like exactly how to say it. So it's because it's such a attribute locked. It's such an attribute locked strategy. You don't really want to be drawing into cards that are not fire, earth, or dark. So that means cards like Nibiru aren't really good. Even the Mulcharmy's main deck kind of feel bad in some of the playtesting that I've been doing. It's not necessarily a card that I want to be seeing. So for that reason, I am not going to be running those items. At least not main deck. I might have the Mulcharmy cited for if I end up going second after a game one. But I think just the way that the Canines are playing right now, they're kind of like your turn zero cards. Especially considering which one is it? Because with Azuna, basically, Azuna's like your hand trap. So Azuna lets you special summon itself if your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or graveyard. Then you can quick effect special summon her from your hand, and then when it's normal summoned, you get to ditch a card. And then you're just ditching Lupus, I believe. And then when Lupus is in the grave, you're able to special summon itself, and then at a quick effect speed, you can use Lupus to XYZ summon a rank 5 during your opponent's turn. There's a few options of what you're doing. You might be looking at like the canine specific ones like Hound and Ripper, but since you're running other items now, you could look at something uh like I don't even know actually. Let me see. Oh, I guess you kind of go into Nash Knight, right? That's like the whole idea. You can detach to grab your Silent Honor arc, attach it to it, then attach another card on the field to it as like your form of interruption. Because it's not that's a pretty oppressive form, honestly. And then during the next turn, you basically rank it up into the other Nash Knight, then layer Silent Honor Dark on it, and then you have a card that's just permanently recycling itself, which is kind of insane. I'm actually really excited to play with Honor Dark. I never really got to do it. My only exception for now that I'm saying that I'm gonna allow like as an attribute break in the main deck is going to be Droll, and that's specifically because I want to run Artifact Druendal. Druendal. Basically, the idea is like if you get Druendal on the field and you have a Droll in hand, the first time your opponent adds a card to the hand, you chain one Druendal, chain two Droll. Both players, so then Droll resolves, then Druendal resolves, forcing both players to shuffle their entire hand into the deck, then draw cards. However, since Droll has already resolved, you cannot draw cards back. And since Durandal was activated before Droll was, it wouldn't be an illegal activation, as opposed to if Droll was already in effect, you wouldn't be able to activate it. So really sneaky. I think that is going to be like an actual game ender angle in terms of like effects that can cause a game just to like instantly close. That's going to be pretty up there, I think, in the next format, especially just with how accessible Durandal will be as a rank 5. It's just like your opponent opens, especially if you're like going first and you just float Durandal, like crazy actually. You set up your fields, you rip their hand, force both players to to shuffle back, and they have 0 cards in hand or field, and maybe only like 1 or 2 in a grave, which is an absolutely oppressive effect if you're able to pull it off. Um, then otherwise, I'm just kind of just like holding some space right now for holding some space. But I'm just like playing that. That's what I plan on playing once the rest of the cards come in here in like the next week or two, and then I just plan on playing that out until basically end of this format. I don't think I'm gonna be doing any aggressive whatchamacallits. I don't think I'm gonna be doing any aggressive builds outside of that because that's already going to be a pretty expensive deck. So I think I'm going to dedicate the majority of resources to it outside of this Harpy deck. This Harpy deck is kind of interesting. I don't know how good it'll be. Harpies, I used to play them back in like 2014, 2015, back when like Harpy Kaiju was like partially viable just because it was a really strong mid-range deck where it's like the kaijus kind of help you out monsters that you otherwise wouldn't be able to, and then you're just kind of controlling the state of like spells and traps on the field. And at the time, like that was a really good strategy. But I think as time's gone on, has not been too favorable to them, honestly. There's like a few flavors that I've been playing with. I've been thinking about doing like harpy traps, where it's like you're kind of playing like this like trap heavy stun based deck where you're just like kind of stunning out. You're using your transaction rollbacks. You're using magical hats, black goat laughs, Daruma Karma Cannon, trap tricks, and then some of the Paleozoic cards just to like uh keep your opponent at bay until you're able to set up just like a one shot kill with Harpies, which I don't think is even that hard to execute. I think it's a pretty easy move to try and do. But otherwise, I would be playing like a Kashtira Harpy where you're just running like Harpies with just a little splash of Fenrir and Rise Heart. But even that doesn't seem like that great. I think it'll be fun to play just as like a nostalgia option, but obviously I don't think it'll be very good. Because I did used to play Harpy, so like I have like all my Harpy cards. I have like my ultra rare Harpy ladies, my alt art or my uncensored art Harpy ladies for those that are into that. But I basically have like the entire core that's needed for Harpies at this point. So it's a really like easy play for me. Like I don't have to pick up that many cards. I'm just getting the main ones that I was missing was like some like the new supports. Like I didn't have the Perfumers, the Fearsome Fire Blasts, Oracle, or the Link Monster, but I already had like all my channelers, everything else related to the archetype. Because like I wanted to play it using whatchamacallit, Hysteric Sign, but Hysteric Sign feels so slow. I don't know if Hysteric Sign is playable in like modern format. Um, just on the basis that just on the basis that well that's it, like just on the basis that it's just too slow. I don't know if it's gonna be doable. I'm still waiting on. I got the Fearsome Fire Blast as I was saying, but I just don't know if it's playable with the Hysteric Signs. Like I think you're better off just saturating like you're just better off saturating Elegant Egotists, and then using like some of like the newer items as well, like Alluring Mirror Split and Feather Rest, and then just using Perfumer as like your primary searcher, like in your primary normal summon. And then you can have like extension options with like Swallow's Nest so that you tribute a winged beast monster. This one. So I don't know if you can really see that. Probably not. But basically, you tribute one face-up winged beast monster, and then you special summon one from the deck with the same level as the one that was tributed. So this is good to dodge out on like effects that would otherwise interrupt your plays. So like if you have like a channeler on the field and you're trying to get its effect to resolve, same with Perfumer. You can have them kind of like dodge these targeted effects. So that they can resolve and you can get your searches off. But yeah, that's just about it. That's all I've been up to recently. I guess update on the Dogmatica Kashtira deck. Ended up doing okay at San Antonio Regionals. I ended up going 2-1-3, which is not like amazing. The deck just really lacked a lot of oomph to kind of get you like to close a game. I don't think I had a single match that did not go to time. And I think that's partially the fault of the deck design because you're just constantly breaking boards, but you're not really setting up anything to prevent boards from being built again. So it's just like you're having this weird back and forth of just constantly building and breaking without it really going anywhere. And the number of floodgates that was being played in it also attributed to such a significant slowdown of the game that like neither player was able to push for end in a reasonable amount of time. Because I think the majority of my games not only went to time, but they went to time in game two, which is why I had so many draws. It was like I was up life points, but for what, you know? It was like I had lost game one, um, and it wasn't really going anywhere. So I don't know. Mediocre deck in hindsight, but it was fun. At least I at least enjoyed piloting it, I would say. Um, so what's there to say besides that? What's the difference between these? I have two different dragon shields. This is I don't think they're the same ones though. Like, and when I say same ones, I mean same what would you call it? It's like I understand they're not the same color, but I don't think they're the same thickness. Like I don't think they're even like the exact same. Like they're like a different version, I guess, is what I would call it. Like I think these are a little lighter than these, but I'm not actually sure. Anyways, I think that does it for today. Um, I guess updates might slow down a tiny bit here just in the short term while I'm waiting for the remainder of my Vanquish Soul items as well as the remainder of my Harpy items. But I'll probably be building out the Harpy around. The Harpy might get built out first because I think they're reprinting the Primite stuff. I would have to check. I'm pretty sure the Primite stuff is being reprinted this month, actually, before the Vanquish Soul stuff in August. So for that reason, I think I might be playing that one in the interim, just because it's going to be the only deck I probably have completed. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next format. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I don't know what you guys are out there playing, but feel free to comment it down below. I'm always looking for something that's fun, kind of low to the ground, doesn't require like the most brain power, but I think Vanquish Soul is going to be fun because it's going to push me to kind of like play a more combo heavy deck. I say combo heavy, like obviously it's not as difficult as Memento per se or Malice even, but I think it'll still be difficult enough and enough like different lines that you can kind of take while playing that it'll be a lot more skill expressive, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in my next deck because I think I know the game well enough that like I'm not really struggling with piloting errors these days as much as I am struggling with just there's only so much skill you can express in Kashtira Dogmatica. You know, it's just like it's a pretty linear deck in what it's doing. So for that reason, I think I'm kind of just ready to kind of move on and kind of touch something that's a little more not just meta viable, but something that's more skill expressive as well. So I'm looking forward to that here soon. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But until next time, I guess I think I'm just gonna cut this one here. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to comment down below some ideas of like what you're playing if you're playing anything right now that's different or new. And until then, see you guys next time.